excited to dive into a really important topic. But first, just wanting to say I'm Chloe and here's Gabrielle.
Okay.
We're so happy to be here with you. Today, we're going to break down one of our activations. And if you want to hear more about what an activation is and some of the languaging, we actually break that down in other videos. So you can certainly check those out. But today, we're going to talk about our activation called release injury recall. And this activation is amazing for when you're getting super triggered or agitated, or you're feeling like you can't sift out what's what because you feel like you're having some sort of a trauma response, or like you're in a triggered space and it feels like, oh my gosh, there's a million things that this is triggering from my past and I'm freaking out about the future now, and all the things, like when it just gets really hard to find your way in a particular moment. So it's really an amazing one to have in your back pocket. So Gabriella, you want to just break down a little bit more of when and how this works and how we use it?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Release injury recall. It's really one of my favorites because I think it's because it happens all the time. We are often in a moment having a conversation, we look at a person, something happens and those triggers, right? Those past triggers get in the way sometimes of seeing what's this moment. I'm being reminded of something from the past. I remember when release injury recall came in for me, it was at first really about the physical body. Like I would bang my arm and then have memories of a time when maybe I broke my arm and think to myself, wait, is my arm broken? Is it not broken? Like what's going on? And not be able to sort out like how injured am I really? So outside of getting the ice and taking a breath and all that, I needed something to help my brain sort and filter. And I was seeing that so many of the clients and trainers that I was working with needed some way of discerning and or calming down the past triggers. So this can be emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, energetic, genetic. It's every single plane. It's really a tool designed to calm down the past or even the fear of the future so that we can land more specifically and more carefully into the present moment. Does that make sense, Chloe? Am I getting it?
You're getting it.
Oh, good.
And really, I mean, it is just such an incredible tool to really do that very thing that you're saying, of bring yourself into the present moment so that you can actually see and perceive and know your next step, or what's
Mhm.
actually needed, and like, whoa, I actually do need that ice, or wow, I actually do need to go say this thing that I was afraid to say, but I got so swirled up, I couldn't even know when or how I was going to say what I needed to say, just as an example. But,
Yes.
it just comes up all the time in all different ways in one's life.
Right. Right. All the time.
Yeah.
And for me, I was a trauma nightmare, honestly, for a lot of years.
I
I
think
had
we both
so
were.
I had so much trauma that sorting that stuff was like hard enough all by itself. And then to figure out like, wait, am I bumping into old trauma or is this something bad that's happening? And to be able to understand like something can be a crisis, but not necessarily a trauma or a pending tragedy, but to really get myself kind of on board with like, okay, I'm mostly doing okay. Things are moving in a healthy direction, and I really need to help myself calm down. The nervous system needs to have a job really to do that helps me to calm down, kind of down regulate, into a calmer place so that I can breathe and be present with what is. I love this tool. I'm gonna say it. Can I just try saying it for everyone?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Maybe we just kind of go back and forth.
Sure, let's do it. And the language is strong, but again, if the language is strong and you're getting confused by that, please go to our other videos, as Chloe said, and check them out. We really break down why we use some of the words we use and why the language inside activations in general is very powerful. And it's a real reclamation of our inner agency to take stands inside of ourselves and to clear energy for our own selves. So here we go. It goes like this. And you know what's before I say that, what's fascinating is I also, with saying this more frequently, I started to learn that I was carrying around vestiges and like reverberations of trauma that weren't active kind of all the time. So
Yeah.
this one also helped me to like realize how much stress I had that wasn't really required anymore. Like I could let the stress go, but I was so conditioned and prepped and processing things on micro levels, both out here but also inside in ways that I didn't realize. So one way to use an activation is to say it repetitively, um, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, to allow yourself to feel it and let it begin to move and shape you. So here we go. It goes like this. I command the vibrational source of consciousness to release injury recall, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, genetic, past, present, and future. Activate change and generate healing immediately. And if you'd like, you can take a full breath cycle in, and then just shake it off. You'll see that we wiggle and shake a lot. I'm sure we'll have a video at some point about how the shakes and wiggles and all the discomforts that come, and also the releases that come when you move energy. So there we go, Chloe.
Yes. I command the vibrational source of consciousness to release injury, recall, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, and genetic, past,
Mhm.
present, and future. Activate change and generate healing immediately. And take a full breath cycle if you'd like. Flush it all the way through.
And here we go. Let's feel. Where are the injuries we hold, conscious and unconscious, that are trapped inside our bodies, our nervous systems, our psyches? Where do we carry those injuries of our ancestors, of our family, of our beloveds, of our societies, our communities? What of those injuries are ready today to release so that we can find present moment? So offering you to just take a moment and feel into, am I carrying something? Am I carrying an injury that's ready to release or close? Or for today, just take a side seat to what's going on in the present moment. And I command the vibrational source of consciousness to release injury recall, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, genetic, past, present, and future. Activate change and generate healing immediately.
So continuing to feel into those places, conscious and unconscious, that are maybe you're stuck in or like attached to and looping in a way that isn't required any longer. And let's command the vibrational source of consciousness to release injury recall, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, and genetic, past, present, and future. Activate change and generate healing immediately.
We'll do one more time each. So when we command the vibrational source of consciousness, that's for you too. So we're hoping you're receiving and enjoying and allowing the energy to move and wash through you. And it's okay if you're not. Sometimes things shift and we don't feel a thing. Some of us, like Chloe and I both, are very sensory alive. So we feel a lot. But here we go. So receive, receive, receive. We command the vibrational source of consciousness to release injury recall in each and every one of us and in every one of you in any way that you wish to receive. And we release injury recall on all of the planes: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, and genetic, in the past, in the present, and the future. Activate change and generate healing immediately. Thank
Mm.
you. Mm.
And we command the vibrational source of consciousness to release injury recall, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, and genetic, past, present, and future. Activate change and generate healing immediately.
Thank you. Mm. Well, we hope you love this and play with it and want to use it more. And we're never offended if you don't. It's yours. Let us know in the comments if you have any awarenesses that come in this release injury recall activation, and use it as much as you'd like.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us, and hope you have a interesting and
Hmm.
transformative playtime with this activation, and feel free to share it with others too.